here we are in Photomatix, getting ready to post-process these images that we took out there at the old train station. I want to keep this as simple and as quick as possible because I don't want to get into too much detail. Because once you start learning this, you will learn other things on your own, what you want to do and what you want to try. So I'm going to make this quick. I've done this many times, so if I go a little bit too fast, just stop the recording and go back and watch it over. Alrighty, here we're going to go. We're going to start with getting our loaded bracketed photos. We will click on the loaded bracket photo button and we will go to browse. Now I am in Photomatix Pro, so this is a good one to get. You can get the cheaper version if you like. They are coming out with a Photomatix 5 pretty soon here, so if you don't have any Photomatix and you really want to get into HDR, you might want to wait and try to get that Photomatix 5, because I hear it's supposed to be really sweet. Okay, we're going to select all our images here and we're going to bring them into Photomatix. First things first, when you bring it into Photomatix, you got all your images here that we took with 5 exposures. We're going to click OK. And I got somebody hitting me up here. And then you notice another window will come open. The top is going to be align source images. Keep it checked. I unchecked cropped align images. Don't really need it. I keep the little circle by matching features checked and include perspective correction. Have it checked. Since we were in a building, and even though the wind was blowing, there wasn't really anything blowing around in front of the camera or anything like that, so I'm not going to check remove ghosts. Now, if you're doing any kind of HDR and you get a slight breeze, and let's say you're doing landscape, and you got a leaf or grass, and, kind of slightly moving in the photos in your shots, you want to click on remove ghosts, and you've got two options. You can have it when you do click remove ghosts, you can have it do it automatically for you, or you can manually do it. Okay, but I don't need it, so I'm going to check it. Reduce noise. I don't need reduced noise because I'm going to do that later in camera raw. Reduce chromatic aberrations. I think I'm going to undo that too. I'm going to do that in camera raw also. And you notice the white balance is cloudy because that's what I had it set on the camera. We leave it on Adobe RGB and we will click OK. And then camera or Photomatix is going to do its thing. It's doing its thing here. I got people hitting me up on my Facebook. Okay. Now, there we go. Now that the images are up, it looks pretty bad. Real dark. Everything's blown out. The windows, the lights, everything. Pretty crappy. Now, I played this a little bit earlier, so I can go through this a little bit quicker. But what you do, once the image is there, you have to click the tone mapping. This is where you're going to do the adjustments. So that's what we're going to do. We'll click the tone mapping button. Man, my speech is so awful. My allergies are kicking my ass. So I hope you guys excuse it. Right off the bat, I like the way it is, but I'm going to explain a little bit about what's over here on the right side of the screen. On the right side of the screen here is your presets for different HDR looks. Now, I really like the black and white artistic. If you ever want to do the black and white HDR, click the black and white artistic and then go over and use your sliders from there. But for someone who's a beginner on this, go through these presets and take a look. I think the one I did when I first started this one, I did the Painterly 2. Now I normally have my own presets. I do have one that I use called Beano, because that's the name of the pond that there's Beano Pond. But I'm going to actually just go through these sliders. I'm not going to move them because I already have it set. The picture looks good the way it is for me. But you're going to go through, after you've picked a preset that you want to start with, this is where you're going to start tweaking it by using strength to bring out and the details a little bit better. So I normally always leave strength at 100. Now some presets you might go to and then you'll see, and when you look at the slider you'll go, oh man, the strength's all the way down here, or the color saturation's way down here toward the gray. You know, not much saturation to the color. Well, that's when you tweak and move. Like this one I've already done, so I've done the color saturation. I'm happy with the color, the blue skies, the reds in the brick, the green, the yellows. Everything looks really good and pretty sharp. Then you got luminosity. Luminosity will do a lot about your darkness and your lightness. And I think I wanted to leave it right back to where it was at. I think it was right about there. Diecast works sort of like, I would think, your clarity slider in Lightroom and Camera Raw. Got that jacked all the way up too. Lighting adjustments. This is where you can have, if you click a little box, you can either click on either one of these buttons and it will set it for you automatically. Like for instance, it's medium. You click on Surreal. Surreal Plus. This is where HDR gets a bad rap. They think that when they come in, they just do this, and look at that. It just looks like crap in my opinion. So this is why you gotta play with it a little bit. You know, you want to keep it as real, but as the detail as possible. I like to keep mine as photorealistic as possible when I do an HDR. Inside buildings, I think the softness and kind of what you see, like if any of you are familiar with RC Concepcion, one of the Kelpie Media guys, he does some terrific in building HDRs, and he just has this look to it. And this is sort of like, kind of reminds me of that kind of look that he's doing. Okay, I'm going to check that. Now we're going to go down to, go back, there we go. And we'll go to the, there's smooth highlights. This will smooth the highlights that are back here that are really bright. I'm not going to mess with that. You got your white point and your black point sliders. Very rarely will you mess with them. They're more like your whites and black sliders in Lightroom and Camera Raw. Now your gamma is basically your midpoints. If you want to bring it up. Sorry guys, my sniffling. I mean, these allergies are kicking my ass. You can either darken a little bit or darken a little bit, mid-tones, bring them up a little bit, and I think I like it right where it's at. But that's all there basically is to in Photomatix to get your image to look like you want it. You know, you don't want that cartoony look. I mean, that's just crap. Try to keep them as realistic as you can. You know, give that soft look. That's what these Painterly 1, Painterly 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll give you that soft look stuff, but then you just gotta tweak till you get it to where you want it. But just because you finish in here doesn't mean you're actually done processing this photo. Because to me, I think it needs a high pass sharpen, and I'm gonna do a little bit more adjustments in photo and Camera Raw. So we'll go down here. We're gonna hit the process button and let Camera Raw do its processing. Alright, now that it's processing, you will have a window that will come open. This is Photomatix 4.2 Pro. After you've done the processing on it, here is a box that comes open with to adjust contrast, color, and sharpening. I don't fool with this. Why? Because this is what I'm going to do in Camera Raw, which actually Camera Raw works a whole lot better in my opinion. Or you can take it in Lightroom. Same thing. Same principle. Same thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this. We'll save it to my desktop. And I'm probably going to overwrite that one that I did. Okay, let's do this again. Crazy on me. Train station. It's 2. So I'm going to replace it. Okay, it's saved. So we'll go ahead and we'll close Photomatix out. I don't need it open. I'm going to open up Photoshop. Let's see here. In Photoshop, I'm going to double click on this, and it should be open in the raw. Since it's a TIFF file, anything you come out of Photomatix, it puts it as a TIFF file. Okay. Now that we've got it in Camera Raw here, I love the soft look of it. What I think, I'm going to turn the contrast just up a bit. Now, you don't need to overdo this stuff. The highlights, I think, can probably be up down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Shadows, maybe I'll brighten them up just a little bit more. Alright, whites. I really don't think we need to mess with the whites much. No. And what I'm doing when you see it go, when you see the screen go black and the little, what I'm doing is I'm holding the Alt key down. And this is a good way to adjust your whites and blacks. Hold the Alt key down, click on the little slider, and what you would do is, if you need more whites in the picture, you just take it and slide it until you start seeing little specks. That off. And we're going to do the same thing to the black. Hold the Alt key down, slide to the left till some little specks come into play, and pretty much done with your whites and blacks there. Here's the clarity. I know the detail slider in Photomatix works like clarity, but I'm still going to add just a little bit more, not a whole lot. Now, Vibrance, I kind of like the color. I really don't want to add a whole bunch, but let's just see what happens here. If I jack it up a little bit, where the greens start looking funky like lime green, I don't really want to go that much. I'll just bump it up just a hair. Next, now, that's pretty simple. I might go to Sharpening. Sometimes I might go up to about, we'll say 35. You know, this is nothing written in stone. This is not a permanent. This is just a starting point. You just have to go by what you like and what you're used to doing. But radius, I will turn down to 7. Leave the detail alone. But if I go to the masking here, I will hold the Alt key down, and slide the mask until whatever you want sharpened is going to be white. And that's what you're going to look for. Okay, I'll see quite a bit in there. All the lines and everything. So, that works pretty good. Let's see. Now, once I'm done with that, I'll come over to the 5th tab over next to the FX. And in this tab, you can do enable lens correction. You go to the color tab, and this is where you remove chromatic aberrations. Chromatic aberrations is usually along edges. You'll see purple or green lines and stuff. And that does a good job of getting rid of it. I want to turn the purple down just a little. I think I see just a little bit of purple and green still in the edges. There we go. I'm not going to mess with FX or anything with close crop vignetting, so to me that's fine. Let's take a preview look real quick. Okay, so before, after, before, after. See? So, bring it into Camera Raw Lightroom, do a little bit more tweaks to it. We'll make it look a lot more better. Alright, since I did that, I'm going to go ahead and open it, bring it into Photoshop. Alright, now that we're in Photoshop, we're going to hit Control 0. And bring it up a little bit better. First thing that I will do is I'll add a blank layer to it. And I'm going to zoom in because I see some dust spots, it looks like, on the image. And we're going to clean those up. Be the first thing that I do. The healing brush tool, we'll just do a little circle there. That. That one. Let's move over a little bit. I thought so. There we go. There's another one right there. Go to that one. That one. Look around here. You mainly see a lot of the spots in the lighter areas, skies and stuff like that. Okay, looks good to me. Got rid of that. Let's just take these two. We're going to merge them together. Hold Shift select the background layer. I'll usually right click and I'll hit merge layers. I'm going to hit Control J and I want to copy it. This is where I'm going to do a high pass. Go to my filter, go to other, high pass. Now to work the high pass, the best thing to do is when you get in on the high pass slider, slide it all the way to the left, and then you get just a gray blank screen. This is how it works. Take that slider and you slowly move it up, right until you start to see edges start to pop out of the image. Really sharp edges, like the brick. I can see the brick, I can see the doorway, just the edges of it. Once you get to that point, you're good to go. You don't need to go any further. You don't want to end up doing this. That's way too much. So usually about, I'm at 1.5 there. I'll boost it up to about 2.1. That's it. Pretty good to me. Hit OK, and then we are going to change the blend mode. I like vivid light. And or you can do a hard light, or you can use soft light. And I think I like soft light. Soft light looks pretty good. I usually use vivid light, but I like soft light. Looks pretty good in this picture. Once we've done that, we will hold Shift, click the bottom layer. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to flatten it. And to me, I am finished. I know this was pretty quick. I hope you learned something from this. It's actually pretty simple to do. I urge you to go out and try this. Remember, learn your camera. Use a tripod. Remember the settings from the earlier while we were at the shooting. And I wish you luck. And please click the subscribe button, click the like button, leave me a comment. Please be nice. And I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you need to want to get a hold of me or check out some of my work, you can go to facebook.com/KR Gallery Series. You can look me up on Google+, google.com/plus Kevin Rice. Or you can go to my Flickr account, flickr.com/KevinLR. Check out some of my work there. We all take care. Have a good one. Until next time, this is the Hillbilly Photographer, Kevin. I'm out.